National Communication Team Member Edema NDC Amanyo Kuno Baba Cancer. Na morning.
Mini Dachi. Good morning.
Na
Apomwe.
Nyamiadum, Nyamedia chair. Na also DNA.
Nyamiadum here. And the place me in fact when you sing chia for chia Ghana for. Na Miss Chia Ghana man penny. Ma mbona baso for a juma last me catch that was a me could drum na mbana catch them say anytime me akwenja opportunity to speak on radio and I say TBC bia me mbo papa na baso because en kwasma ekeshim 8 years the misgovernance that you experienced within the last 8 years the kind of corruption that you experienced, the nepotism, the sheer impunity. Yakumu no. Dachi. Na idea na ya hote. At a point, na timemini eko dwoma. Okita 1,000, 2,000 tumi nto bibia no wasa ne cha befi. Oba top 5 kg of rice. 200 Ghana cedis anopa. Ewi obekọ na 400 cedis. Obeto a tuber of yam. 50 cedis anopa. Obekọ ewia no na ye 70, 80 cedis. And this is the kind of situation that you endure here for the past 8 years. And see, President Mahama Beje Kundwano, now we share within a space of 1 year the kind of transformation of their bar. And man, see the beer you been acquainted be a number of bars. Obakaya, fuel. A 17 cedis a liter. That is 72 Ghana cedis a gallon. That's it. That is fuel. Cedi no fano. Time about me ever face cedi. Now you 3 cedis 50 pesos. But all free so no on one anymore say they set up one of the solid economic management teams. But almost free so no. Now you 17 cedis to $1. So this is the kind of atmosphere. Any and we hear Yakum.
Obi to say Dr. Tony Edu.
Sure.
I say, look, communicators should focus on policy explanation, policy education than praising John Dramani Mahama. It is the people of Ghana want to understand policies, programs. That explanation is what the people of Ghana are looking for, not the praising.
I agree with him, but me bahanye praising na me ye. Me chira wo say, emba ne se ye ko ye betena afidie so a, we fidie kase so a. Ye mbo na baso. Na the oye ni na is it driven by policy or not? Because ejuma we ye oye no, say nye policies no dia to akwam na ye the results. I don't know what it is. So these interventions are backed by what? Concrete policies. And those policies are what? Yielding results. Now you need to have an MP for the policy buy. Say, domestic exchange program, debt exchange program. Pensioners, I'll be a 1 year for over 60 years. Or didn't see a bank. Almost see, on money, the coffers is empty to the extent say, to government bonds, to bank, almost getting to into your car. Hey, now you buy ya 10 any. What I say, you implement prudent economic management now. See, finance minister to 10 billion. I'm saying who releasing. So these are clear policy interventions. I have never video show. I see a tumbo with the rule. But of course, the ordinary policy, no, you cannot take him out. The one who is driving the policy initiative cannot be taken out of the equation. And then like I said, yeah, now you refer to the one driving the policy initiatives. And you know, yes, I agree with him, it's in right order. But you cannot also decouple the policy maker from the policies. No, that you cannot. The two go hand in hand. Yes. Because policy no obi no dey ato akwe obi. And it is being led by the president.
When people
say policy no me ba o. As I say policy no dey ato akwe and you the results are Why didn't you ever go? That you didn't come on.
Yes, is the president.
Yes, so it is only fair. Say, never know that talk when you do also say, ever bonny deep. Say, no, by a bit man, encouragement to do more. Yes.
Ntina de bia mo bo Muhammadin de bia Muhammadin de bia.
And yet, me from no see yet na fidie no so a interventions na boa. Social intervention policies no dey abana boa.
Intervention dey wan.
Look, before I ever file Kundwa no, na PWDs, people living with disability. No go school born free ana. No mutia. But as we speak, people living with disability, through the intervention, President Muhammad Abba are being implemented by the Student Loan Trust Fund. Many can say every student or tertiary institution, public tertiary institution, or one form of disability of other, or because school upon free. Na ye free no so nko wo ko school upon free no na ye sam mo bibi o de betu ubotom de o de be didi. So this is one of the biggest social intervention policies in Aba. It's unmatched. It means that it's unprecedented. Since I see so, what to say? People living disability, I'm going to go on free. And see that. So Bibia
would happen from one government to another.
Exactly. That is why I say policy must make an
ambassador. Also want is a free SHS.
Free SHS, you okay progressive free education.
You see,
so
progressive.
It's not an MPP's intervention.
Wait, progressive.
Yes.
On say I say in some engineer 2D.
Yes.
Progressive free education.
So they just
and a free education.
They just took out the progressive. Now we're expanding.
But so only in 2007.
I am saying I'm not discounting. So I'm expanding. They came to expand the scope.
Okay.
That's the point I'm making.
Okay.
And you know, policy maker now this intervention actual you cannot decouple that policy maker from the interventions. Before I ever buy no, when say obi vie SS, not because university, when you admission, there's a certain percentage they say to be able to register. Who can University of Ghana, University of Ghana. Those days, I say, I think about 50% of your fees. When you forfeit the admission. And most of the people, most of them dropped out. Because now, if you say your school fees is 6,000 now, you must pay about 3,000. President Mahama said, now your stress. It was a burden on the student and a burden on the student, on the parents. Some of them could be only a papa. The President Mahama said, "Me be buy your friend no fee stress." Into what when yes, Akwenya echo school from public tertiary institutions. President Mahama said, from the word go, will school fees now go to any tuition no, or be amount a percentage of it, academic related ones. Yes, you.
But when say,
yes, start here. Yes, start here. In the first year of implementation, 2025, 2026, 2024, 2025 academic year, over 152,000 students have benefited from the program.
You agree with me, sir, that intervention is good. But however, the implementation of that intervention is problematic. Having know the mischief that is supposed to cure. Now, the student goes to school, hustle and get the money to pay their school fees. Then you reimburse. Then you will not be curing the mischief now. Because then now you say nipano onye sika mfa metua. Enti first year no mamentria ma no se de be ya ne ho be ha no. Wo betumi apre for the next year no no ababetua. But this is the situation where the student ought to go through the struggle, pay before you reimburse.
That's it. You take it over now. Omo school dada.
Yes.
President Mahama say once more level 100 no ontwa munja. Enti odi bi obody ya friend reimbursement. So more dada no e very funny music ama. But going forward, e be change intervention any. And into na student loan trust fund omo yi be for the stakeholder engagement. Omo agree with the universities and the technical universities. And so this year the number all the technical universities have had an agreement with the fund, say the students should go through the registration and that the fund will transfer the money directly to what? To the schools. The traditional universities, they say Legone, University, they also have a different view. As we speak, they are in negotiations. Reimbursement, they have a different perspective on it. And you know, in every policy, if it be implementation nightmare, you need to implement the thing to see the challenges. Then going forward,
you rectify them as the time goes on.
So all these issues have been acknowledged. Our government what rectify the challenges. And you know, interventions are enormous and a positive results. Remember we intro to who say diseases be a friend non-communicable diseases. They say be cancer, kidney failure. Sa yaya kasa no. Many would say ye nipa one way or the other. Nipa to me yare. Obi no oba we say yare ma to no so. But one way or the other, it's a memifo bi wo ha o man contract those diseases. Ebi mo kom ye pensioners. Omo nye sika wo ye dey embon bra. And you agree with me say sa yare no who the was sika dey contract it will drain you. Instead president Mahama say me be fan Mahama care. Ebe deal specifically with those diseases. By be say. So we yet men na we say yare ni bia untua penny. So these are the social interventions that they are be boa manfo. Instead manfo na say nya kwanja. Say many nya kwanja o here. Yam board the policy maker na ba so. Say na bitumi ahye ne nkuna to do more.
Okay.
And so bia papa wa le pe bia Michiano.
Mama
Kennedy.
A pilot. I feel on my pilot back me be the last time I knew Bobby Akasaya. Now she told me say it is pilot they are yet to do the implementation. She ended political talk that's what pipeline yeah.
By your set up the institution.
Yes, and I say on my year pilots.
Yes. And every policy, what do you pilot?
Why pilot in Navy? And I make us say why pilot in Navy? I got the full implementation. And I make us say in the pipeline. Now,
no one fans release more.
And I'm say it is in the pipeline. Yeah, it's yet Chroma, and you can't budget. And they allocate funds ama ministry no call na ministry no ninsan kan sika no ye program
and they ba obi ka so ba constituency be man $1 million
this year last year budget 2025 ministries ni be up to that just can almost
and no
there my margin
me josu minia me chia na edikan me chia minia yi me be oda ya de wase tuntum de so we yemu pa
me aka me ye bizan say o say Ghana de uta say tuntum
especially on Monday especially abanfo ni binu no
localized
oh there be nti no say wa betena ha na wa ekomudi uyem na wo dwa enum na wo ma Ghana fo hu say 1 million na ate o say ewiabo na wenimu esesa enyo obi na beka wa na beka wa de na mami ndi kenchia domeko abenyafo nyina na menchia MPP ma e wo domeko abenyanso na mechia party no MPP party no mechia lawyer Justin Kodua mechia your constituency chairman mechia Professor Roma Kokwe mechia yenua ba Sarah Joasafo ase chia Ambassador Roma Kokwe Junior e wo se yehia ba mentimi nhia no na mechia yenua ba Shola upon search na mechia constituency executives na datin me ba no na metie
ma tibi mbese me bisa wo say no kra say within the constituency say obetumi abebe constituency executive for example say obedi chairman and secretary I was a degree holder
yes because we need to set a standard because at a point you know on say your lower standard now say only a chairmanship or secretary.
Say
And a position exactly.
Say chairman, secretary.
Inti baby
youth organizer, diploma.
Baby our level no. Now
exactly
because we need to set that standard. No send a bear.
Now maybe we say or qualification.
And none can be a design that won't mean I'm better with you.
Oh, you see, the problem is that Obien him say, Sisia baby, or mine call any baby econo. Technology is a key factor, and education is also one of the things that MPP are buying. I imagine say, I was say, if you be it is one of the reasons why the free SHS policy came on board. So what you say? And non say obia only such qualification no sebi o onim de sebi obi okura degree but obi only degree kura no adwen akura no who degree ra no untime match in any way. We have people who have invested and successful business people are kura degree. But it notwithstanding no ekuo bia nso no your standard enimra. So I see nothing wrong with it.
But this one will cut across because oko obebi ti say man yantu was wako bi bia sehwimpo or baby typical people there are cocoa farmers. Odua cocoa ya tena wa for maybe 40 something years. Cocoa crachi on no here the agboro in the area. Oh pepper so shum party no. Ono so no on kute degree bi. Are we going to vary it? Say, looking at the community, the constituency, these people, they are, no one call, is not into the formal education. Why informal education?
You see,
are we going to vary it and say to be a straight jacket, baby?
Oh, there be na say emra so to anato. The problem is that it will shock you. So those areas now, they are even more highly educated people than even in the city.
Oh, more highly educated we are
oh, that's it. So over the weekend we say graduate now they are there.
Yeah.
So yes, Sanet here. Oh, my man, congratulate you for your masters. Oh, it's no Sanet here because education there it has no end. Programs over corona will be the afino di 70 afina or realizing the dreams of person a master program or a pensioner but person some masters now call law school cry obi call pension so afino or call law school or yeah so media I don't think say it is a step to guard certain people but it's a step to encourage
people to do
more in life because you cannot end at a particular point.
No, okay.
Intermediate, it's not something on that yikra. And Hami Bibri was adiano. That is why Oma categorize the whole situation.
Because somebody also made a certain argument, and for me, I also side with the person. Said it is gradually getting to the party, the Munas party, the Babemua. Now, afi we a constituency chairman. Recently something happened. I said call rounds here. Oko Kaswa. And there was a guy who was complaining and said, then the regional minister did the microphone, man. I am the regional minister. Tell me the job you want to do and I'll give it to you. I can't get a microphone on. And that situation cut across the political party. The party in the Babemu we are. Then the constituency chairman who was suffered all because only in Krata and then and to say you put him into certain pedestrian and say okay who degree of Fabra and what your friends we Musa Dankwa survey yes. And looking at the two political parties and then the delegate roles near the other hand saying say if you look at Omo from secondary level back down any from secondary level the number of Omo from secondary school back down in the MPP more
exactly. So that's and I make sure say the MPP we have always been the pace setters. Banner say you review your policies, you're moving forward. I mean, talking about your delegate system has always been the MPP setting the base and setting the pace for everybody to follow.
No BA now we want to be much
exactly, but a gradual step. What I say, a gradual step. Into this another step in the right direction. Party need take here. We know say going forward, other people will also emulate and take it up because ain't me must say, yeah the policy directions we have, and a chairman or a secretary who leads the constituency cannot even read and understand the direction the party wants to go. A problem. What I say, and another maker say it's not to say yeah gagi obi, but it's to encourage everybody to take advantage of the situation at hand. And when we are doing an education policy, free secondary school education. We started the basic school education free and free secondary school education. It means that gradually we want to make sure that everybody can read and understand the Oyebiano. And moreover, it sounds so boa party because maybe more people get to understand the policy direction of the party and how we want to move the country forward. And just the party need to say a party, by a bar bemwa, a mining cost won't and this is one of the reasons why I stand with that, but I believe and yet to take everybody out, but baby baby o feel say ahana me standard wo ohona metimi agina no na wako hobby na wako kire obobre o na no nso wa wo ye nyina no na wo ye den wo upgrade we status no because otina no you can also equally become a minister. You can also equally become an MCE or a director or a CEO baby. What I say because untimi nya grassroots ejuma na nko ewie e was say a man the brebia onso no uko wanimu a ebeboa wo. And it's one of the reason why with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia saying say he is going to make sure say per constituency we get certain appointments ebeboa constituency na man ho ahenhan no enkoye say central government yekoye yi na omampeni odashi 30,000 to every constituency obi ani baby skani fi the NDC 4 year no every constituency is receiving an amount of 30,000 at every constituency they be somewhere now the kai one thing Mustafa Gbandi kai one thing every year biano
20
every 20 intimate intina say dollar no tamana ntia swati intino no problem into the American say 20,000 per constituency obi akure lim baby efi enso oman no minu ayiti hayi na oka mahama care disease then MPP ede omo da dialysis so eto national health insurance chief o kasa me man kasa MPP ede nkrofo dialysis for eto national health insurance so mobile no mo say mu yie fio mo de ko she under mahama care ene na wo bisa ne say mahama care na mo ka no is still under piloting stage in so all the achievement also a policy driven that's it ene ayeti kroma no kan na petrol was 17 cedis per liter MPP fi abem na petrol ye sen e wo man we mu na sen 14 cedis 12 cedis also dollar rose to 17 cedis MPP fi abem na dollar ye sen was 14 cedis. But you see, there is one thing I am one say, ya me dofo adada me, ya dada Ghana for, ya kan yama bebre in some de in Yoko wie no. The same issue na ya ken Ghana for hu the difference. Oso uko krom okoto ade 10 cedi obeba na ewia obekoro na asan increase and then we are feeling the same thing. Yes dollar abafum. And so near man baby a dane da. Now all the bear 62 billion echo pompe o sterilize the economy no. Now the 62 billion ko to economy no. Now o stabilize the city. Now the impact no the people at the ground does not feel it. Now economy papa ben na o asset. That's it. Now economy papa ben. And it is for that reason why today cocoa farmers are demonstrating. meboa what be that from yebeji cocoa price
so second topic in the
yebeji cocoa price at 4 cedi
at 4 cedi
400 Ghana a bra cocoa kilo was 400 MPP made sure say you call 800 16 edu 2000 3000 na ye nuanu ma hyase e ka che cocoa kuafo say ade no kra no aban ni sisi mu na wo so mom 6000 you can quote the agric minister today ewo onua TV so yewura finance minister ato forcing onam cocoa fuo mu to cocoa fuo mu e chere mo ade kronti e wo so nkomo je 6000 into 2017 that 2017 cocoa ewo Ghana ha ye ka ho asem ye ko ahoyehia mu NDC boka to ho at a point when cocoa tons of about 193 tons are now was saying your supply and me supply.
That's a rollover contract.
What I say? A boka $7.9 million. MPP betu ye tuaka. But no ankasi yenti kuku kiafo or musika so. We stabilize, we maintain to the point say Ivory Coast mampeni eba be hu o mampeni Ekufuado then say me nya pressure o mikrum into so te odia no so se da bi cocoa ekuafo aye adwuma to the extent say sa cocoa ekuafo yi e wo se e bom ho ban wante so otumu mom na wo a wo se obi bo so be man 6000 o buy a 3100 na Ekufuado de coin no wo a want mu okay o buy no ya set we no say e wo se move to 3600 o di bi be kan ho o wie ya wasat su hu we dey to for bo we nya eyo mama ke na ebi no mama ke no ebi no yenti cocoa kuafo sika so o ti cocoa kuafo sika so a o budget to government machinery to Jubilee House what to cocoa kueni no this Gabriel no o budget a o de ba to Jubilee House what to into that the American say it is not as rosy as minuane pese Ghana for nehu benyame na me meka Ghana for asema mom because omu timu deda and they know how they are feeling they know the pain they are going through me gidi se obi owo fie etie obeka say na branch yi otikroma ana otikrofu for so we need to understand say when we have the opportunity to be behind the console yes you be defend your party but I was see a can of credit kakra and they go to their own media houses omo instant trophy omo ni omo ye adwuma I challenge them right in the face say enko ye this is not what you told us another two their own to be and this is for can say mebre e de kire ukokan u fi no uja cocoa industry reka of about 19 billion and now sorry I say a cut 32 billion da ho na 19 billion ene kakra na nipa ne be ye to so no one wo na uja 19 billion wan de na so uja 19 billion na yen bi say ho say MPP efi abemu under nanado no sika sen na na eda cocoa for account mo wo UK Ghana cocoa account wo UK over $500 million sector egunu no the MPP jato wo no sika o mu jato UK cocoa kuafo account mu na wo buy a cocoa kueni no wondwe no ho wonhwe cocoa kueni onwe ne ho wo say wo no obeye wakoto New Land Cruisers uko cocoa kuafo na okochi oma wo di ekonwa foforo mampeni kra nam no de ne ekonwa ekwa aye complaining whole cocoa board CEO okoko kuafo mo de nkonwa tie rubber na eko wa to car foforo cars si oye adwuma na o say what wo sika so 10%. Na cocoa krani no what in 28%. What in sika so 28%. And na wo na onu tua o ka no. What in sika so 28%. What wo de so kakra say wo dada no. Na dachi me anya mwanwa because adano me tena ha me no tena ha edi nkomo e ma ka say e ma o ka say ubiza me say nti me sure say ayawa so is issue bibi po bi be free mo ba aseme na me ka chew me ka to say no cre if the NDC mean business they should set the ball rolling you go we say ohun say serpent of clearing agents no ya clear into me, I know say settings because the whole Jubilee House crano or no watu ni sike mu. Into anya dia cocoa board for no omo sika no cocoa Ghana cocoa board omo sika omo kote so. You see, we should be truthful to the people when we come here. Yeah, na o kan see edum kanea. Into he was forced to wear atade ohye no. Or see a local problem. Into no yatim any ehe Ghana 40
Kojo the TUC penny me come on audio for because it will be within
the san ye kana anka the okay number anka
anagwa kan Mr. Uso retreated that workers should not be made to pay for the circumstances beyond their control. We call on Cocoa Board and government authorities to ensure that workers are protected and that their rights under the union agreement are respected.
That's before my bawa no. Cocoa and Samuel no. I mean say MPPs I didn't introduce him. When you say sir cross no introduce say we need degree won't win contest for certain positions. And now we create certificate and we contest no unconstitutional. This is an unconstitutional measure. Go and check the constitution. The qualifications for even to become a member of parliament, even a member of parliament, you don't. The education is nowhere.
That is right.
You should be of sound mind, and above what is it 21 years to be able to contest as a member of parliament. Even in parliament, you don't need education to go to parliament. That's why we had the likes of MSA, any any form of formal education, but they were able to enter the house and contribute to the development of this country. And the Saudi MP for that, one, a completely unconstitutional. And to me, I will urge on members in this was had minister qualifications there
to test it in court.
Because and I didn't know an attempt to introduce a class system in the MPP. And because I don't believe in capitalism. And this is a clear feature of what capitalism. Trying to what? Introduce a class system to differentiate between say Obi and Nipachi Obi. And class system has been what? Spoken against. Sasa elitism na modiba politics no nimpa no onko to abama onko school bon to abama onimi answer to abama but when it comes for positions there onko school to onimi answer man contest bi. Is that what they are telling us? Say do national elections there, those people should go and vote for the MPP no media kunda, but a ban say ombedi position or party dem there and onimi answer. Is that how to rule a society? To introduce a class system to keep people in bondage, to keep people in poverty. Is that what they are telling us? And for me, because I'm ideology of capitalism, and this is a clear feature of capitalism. To introduce what? A class nipenchichemu. Say, wako school, unko school. Say, wako school ni miasa chemu. What kind of thinking is this? What kind of thinking is this? And then they want to me coming. Ose boy. Measure na mo dia bere ya me do for dada me.
Wakasa wan.
Oh. No go for na social media. Say ba o mi a se ne boss am to support ne to aba ma me wi ma support mo. Adrian about me 360. What telling what it's a chameleon. Say, won't mean go school, don't even want to be near Juma. And that's the only way money I mean because I mean and that's the only way to get wood to me
you can't come and sit on radio.
See we have discussion.
You have been asked a cocoa issue. What's here and I will can you see, you don't come and sit here and tell lies.
You respond.
I didn't respond. Now, tertiary for crying to you. Tertiary for music. I didn't talk to you about it because no, but that's it. I need you to control the program because
wait.
He cannot sit here and lie.
I asked you a question because I got the information. I may be a question.
And you didn't come out
and he wants to have a bite on it.
Yes,
I agree.
However, this is a group of people. This is a political party.
He doesn't even understand
a group of people who have decided to introduce a policy.
Yes.
A policy for which the group thinks that this is the way we want to go.
Yes.
For any reason. If anybody within the party feels that it constitutes what the constitution says a discrimination.
Yes.
Then the person can seek redress.
That is why I'm asking them to seek redress.
No, until
the point I'm making is into constitution.
And
part of the constitution actually said
there's nobody.
There's no parliament.
As we speak, let me ask you.
Constitution.
So the freedom of association. Your rules must not be inconsistent with the position.
Fantastic, but however, have you also tested as to whether or not somebody is in the party who had decided to pick former on degree?
I
don't want to only go school.
I don't want to mean no. Look, let's not decide the issue.
Why just to say that? No. You see. Yes, when? That was then. As whether he has upgraded or otherwise,
I was in the highest education background. School prempe.
But after that,
he has not come to update us. So I'm speaking to what I know.
So it's fantastic. So you cannot conclusively say.
He went to prempe.
He
didn't say the highest education.
No, assuming that is even the case, that was.
He never said that. So
this interview was about 3-4 years ago.
It's not that won't be alone. Obi to say I must say.
Is Amase contesting for any position?
What's the program?
Is Amase contesting for
a matter of me back? They say
just look at what he's saying.
But is that what it is? Okay, so wait. Wait. If somebody joins the NDC today, and the proposition is that before you can even contest for a position, you need to be somebody who have been in the party for 2 years or so, and you are of a good standard.
Good. Is that unconstitutional? NDC will not make unconstitutional rules.
Wait.
Is that unconstitutional?
You are somebody who have been in party for 2 years.
Yes.
Let me ask you, which part of the constitution? Wait. No. I'm just asking a question. Yes. If today I join the party and I'm less than 2 years, you say because even though I'm a member of the party, I am not 2 years of age. It debars me from contesting for a position.
The constitution says, the political parties must organize themselves or the rules in conformity with the constitution. Even in the constitution, no contested, there are rules. But all internal rules have been making, it should not be inconsistent with the constitution.
Yes.
And as far as I'm concerned, that rule of by the NDC is not inconsistent with the constitution.
Of the provision?
But which provision can you consider unconstitutional?
But if you say it is unconstitutional, it should be unconstitutional with the provision of the constitution.
Yes.
And I'm asking,
and I am
which of the provision is it unconstitutional with?
Me say it's not. Me say they are no. And you're unconstitutional.
And I'm saying,
unconstitutional.
Which provision does it frown?
Is it Article 1 or Article 21? Discrimination. This is a clear case of discrimination against some people.
Let me
You cannot discriminate. Constitution you cannot discriminate on the basis of what? Religion, identity, or the person's social background. And this is person's social background. They are discriminating against one to me for say, for that me. Omo di ba wumia hwe in aka ya ka say obi de wo kohwe nkwa yentri no kohwe wu. Omo tri ba wumia kohwe nkwa. And then and that is why some of them are crying. Say, say about me, yes, sir, and come support in Japan.
Just look at all this.
And
you have like 4 minutes to go.
Oh, that is a fair to member issues in this.
That be said, Odi and I.
Cocoon sense. Look, MP, Nipa, form MP before some can say, Shashra. I say, Shafo. Because they get you also more pimple. What mismanaged the cocoa sector? To the point to say, for the first time in 32 years, when to me a syndication in 2023-2024. Look, I see here about cat to cocoa board. This is a total lie. As at the time I hear Fisu, the cocoa board had a positive equity of 1.8 billion. Which means that Cocobo's assets were more than their what? Their liabilities.
That is right.
As at the time of Fisu, the Cocobo had a negative equity of 3.8 billion.
But I don't think you are also saying
that.
No,
yes,
because you just made a statement. I'm asking you a question. You are not also saying when NDC was leaving power, they never had a debt. There was a debt of 90 million.
Look, and so we didn't have to be in control. Ye fish no positive equity. Na 1.8 billion. One fish na ye ton cocoa board Japan na ade nyina still on medical 3.8 billion. This is the difference. Now I can say, look, Cocoa Board has the capacity of doing contracts or more releases in terms of what? Executive contract. I have 430 million per year. MPP from my contracts of over 21 billion, which means that say Cocoa Board say every year beyond capacity na 430 no. So every year we move to 430. It will take Cocoa Board 47 years to service their contract commitments. The some contracts some man no that some of the clauses no say contract any year within 90 days or she certificate government must pay. So what was Cocoa Board going to get 21 billion in the space of 1 year to pay all this debt? Let me just say, meanwhile Cocoa Board capacity to execute contracts in a year 430. This is what remember contract out to the tune of 21 billion. Then a year organization. You want organization to take 47 years to service what? Only contracts. And also one mandate. That Cocoa Board's core mandate is not to execute what? Road contracts. But a Juma Union year 2 on. Look, on rollover contracts. Now they had a rollover contract of over 333,000 tons of cocoa beans to supply. Supply. Almost signed the contract, now cocoa beans now $2,600. In the following year, because of month servicing, cocoa then acquired $10,000 per ton, but they were forced to service $2,600 dollars contracts. So just imagine the revenue losses. You have over 12 billion revenue losses.
How does that
affect
the cocoa farmer?
I am telling you that the genesis of this problem I have found a solution to know. It started from them.
But
they caused the mess.
But when you came, you made an increase in cocoa prices.
Look,
Wait.
they make a commitment to the people of Ghana. Say ya ba. Exactly. Say a kosra, a man a kosra, a bafuma. And at the time, I promise.
And to buy and that's how canning in Adaho.
Yes, but that price now kosro.
Now price now kosro.
So yes, they will say yo.
Until you decided to increase
it.
Okay.
Now price the bar down. You decrease it. Now time I can 60% I said.
Finance.
Yeah, 60% minimum. Command them.
8 billion. No. Oh, but last year. Okofano way.
No, minia. Yeah, can. Reduction assembly. Look. 6,000 assembly. Satam no cocoa 20 $7,200 to $10,000.
But we better catch you saying 2017. It happened the same way, but there was no reduction.
Yeah, calculation. No, you catch them say. And some come to 70% of the FOB price to the farmer. The highest they could give, the farmer was 35%. And then you can say, price near $4,200. This month, I'm checking them about 3,800. But government say, and some give mom 70% of the FOB price, but your mom 90% of the FOB price. Some common amount to swear now, and Kokunu, it will be less than 1,500.
Now, so Mbakachi was saying in 2017, there was a reduction in the world market price.
Of how much?
38%.
Now we are talking about the quantum from 10,000.
They decided to keep the price.
That's it. But what do you say is life? As far as we can tell her, what's it?
You are lying.
My choice is cocoa board.
In 2017, and the world market price, they decided to keep the price. And they had but since the cocoa sector no buy till today, you are the first government to buy reduce cocoa.
The mess was caused by them.
Look at all this.
Medical established at that point. So for the first time,
but even though you inherited the mess, you decided to do
for the first
increase.
time in 32 years. In 2023, 2024, I'm on syndication.
What's your condition when
Amount to syndication, but they were able to hold the 3,100.
And you know, we are now sanitizing the sector.
Me that's it.
And you want to imagine Abonte and to Yampia.
Me that's it.
Abraham mismanaging the sector.
Me that's it.
So the government acknowledges the issues now. You're calling cocoa farmers near Komunu, but we are taking measures to fix it.
Me that's it.
Now, if I'm land on this, I can no only the difference between cocoa and the purpose of my demonstration. I'm here demonstration. Almost I'm call back. I'm promise some 200 Ghana cedis. Miracles about it. What can the sign in power when cocoa crafo? I'm some made demonstration. They were stranded on street of Accra.
You see, people make this argument now. Wait.
You
see, all of you, and the political commentators. You people, you are not learning. Let me tell you, as to whether or not the people were cocoa farmers, they were pawpaw farmers, they were okra farmers. One of the things you should know as a government and apologize to the people for is that since the inception of cocoa buying, there has never been a reduction of price. Under no justification can you tell the cocoa farmer, say, when you cannot justify it. As to whether the price goes up and from Obi anyway say yes, John Dramani Mahama. If I say TUC for Inia, they are doing TUC boss because you cannot have the moral right to tell them, say, it is a market price because you are be a him. Until for you to come and say, there's a justification for the reduction of price.
As far as the measures need be done.
Yes.
As far as the measures need be done, we acknowledge that yes, this is bitter.
So the acknowledgement is as important as anything.
Yes, but
because then you can. How do you justify the reduction?
Government has acknowledged the challenge. But we are telling you it's a challenge, the free baby.
No problem. But how do you justify that to the cocoa farmer? Yatia said there is a challenge. A challenge you are trying to manage. Yes. But I am saying you say in your communication to the ordinary Ghanaian, the cocoa farmer. I will catch a cocoa farmer and he said first don't get 3,600. And that what 3,600 nukra edi aba 2,500, and people even make the argument so the value of 3,600 is even worse than 2,500, which is logically excuse my language.
That's it. Government has acknowledged the issue. Now I say intervention is bitter, yes, but it is necessary because there is a certain collapse because of mesa will be created to work.
That's it.
That's the point you are making.
That's it.
My memory also now.
Yeah, that's it. Million Casano, no Case, we syndicated loans for Indian services. You see?
Yes, at the last, before you left government,
you couldn't access syndication.
You couldn't access syndication.
I agree.
It's not about service.
That's it.
So
I agree.
Me.
But the NDC left in 2017-2018 season to even make it worse off. Yen cocoa bought a soti in the world market by 38%. So
yes.
What I say
in 2017.
Yes. NDC Cocoa Initiative Roads contract on the mile. Then small contract. When 20 same way in 2016, almost contracted $1.8 billion syndicated loan. I was in Komoma 800,000 tons of cocoa. Obama just 400. Yeah, be fine. We never complained. Last year, Yanti Kromwa and a finance minister Becca say, a cocoa industry no, omo increase omo by 1.8 billion.
Omo in then. If you are quoting the person, quote the person right.
Last year. No, so go and read your own financial. Oh, Mr. Go and read your own financial. They've made a profit of $1.8 billion.
What is Omo?
$1.8 billion profit. No, that's it. Now, if you are buying Ben so a pencil, and no muye juma, a mass profit of 1.8 billion buy. It's just like when we talk about the gold reserve policy now, and then you de buy ya, where you go nibi so akoton. What you say? You see, why ye adia ebin sida? That is why we are asking him to accept the fact, say, it is wrong. So unimsi will be a friend international world market price. Inka woma embeka nche kriafo say yesisiu. Unim be a friend international world market price a. Inka obi ekwa ahunhehie mu ebra ofi covid a Russia Ukraine war buy no. Inka woma mbeka nche ne say enya hwe. Honorable Mutala of blessed memory. Obey environmental minister. Otu Kwankwa Manone. He went to coach the Russian Ukraine war. As a result of Adia Ama Africans, a display Africans in a bad state. Omampeni, John Dramani Mahama have done same. So when you reach the world state, you say different things. When you get to Ghana, you tell the people different things. O catch a cocoa kriafo say na me pesa me yema o buy went me ni so. That is what the people want to hear. Students are going around complaining about this and then on school fees na also which you have 50%, you know. Students are going around and talking saying they have not even received one CD of whatever we are talking about. You see at your mind we na say as a young man o de ne say oba insema enye no kra na apese o de ejuma. Yes, you can go ahead, but otina no you will be remembered just as Ghanaians are remembering the NDC on issues we raising in this country. But Omobile, they are doing the opposite of it. Me na me go catch kokoko kra for say memo mo 6,000. That's it. Me na me go catch kokoko kra for. Eye me. Eye wo na go show mo bo. Na wa go show mo bo a what so. Na so mo ka mo asema. Wo say obi akofa nkrofo na ode o mo abaso be demonstration. na miracles no ono e koko kriani na TUC e complain no miracles na come TUC voska TUC omubuefu omo kasa no miracles na come omuska the trade union congress no koko gravo no mo show maze omo kasa miracles na go form you see it tells us say every demonstrator in this country say demonstration bi aba so da anasa akoso pen no mu opposition no mo na mo ko form ba so mo be demonstration enti aban una akofo mo ba so betia o be demonstration enti aban. You see, the issue is that Ghanaians deserve better. Things are not going the way they expected. I expect you say said here some of your senior colleagues on radio, on TV are explaining issues and letting people understand say we promise to do better, but rather unfortunately it's not going as expected. It is for that reason why Dr. Tony Edu is saying say don't come and sing praises to people, but rather explain the policies, because he has realized say the policy direction now mumu say modeba no, it is neither here nor there. You can't talk about it. Ubisan Cocoa say NPP4 and the mercy of the cocoa sector. I just mentioned to you, say go to the cocoa account in UK. The money the NPP left. How do you quantum? That's it. How do you quantum? Obi access. What say? What the offices near you now can now what calculate say your access of 1.8 billion. Now offices now all the account now you know. Offices of what value chain and a day a bread cocoa you know.
Let's
you should be able to understand some of these things and let's work on some of these issues. Nienja is back and forth cocoa. I just mentioned to you
the health sector. Yeah, opposed to your friends saying teachers up to now, teachers, you know, say teachers, doctors, still are doctors, you know, be enyanko. The minister now say it is either you go and as you be UFE the payroll no eso.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, but the question is, was he finding out why as her Dr. Nino won't be in Koye? Ebi na accommodation issues. Ebi so wa because you and I attest to the fact that the
last time when I made some come away on this issue, the fact that almost the doctors now post you. It is not that they post you. You go on the platform and select where you want
to go. Yeah.
Enti omoye wie enti wo select say bia me ba dom kwabenya. They try to liaise with the MCE no wahan for the MCE to find an accommodation, interim accommodation for you. Our baba occupy accommodation aye adwuma until say ye be ma official place obemko ediako. And so it was kind of as a yentiase wa said say me person me to move, for example near di wato near Fred the regional minister say ye dey assume see banti make a provision na regional minister na ye wie na also wonko.
Yeah, that's
because some
saying.
Of them by the time omo years are feeling ni we be aba private job bi won kan according to information bi you see ebi mu kra shase say omo ye different course e wo Legon into 1% obeko far from Accra, and yes, you cannot access the course now or yen. So it is an amalgamation.
Yes, so in America, it could be a mixed factor: education, accommodation, and maybe other things of say or waha easy so obenya access to them than there. But it also tells us say, as a mind, we should be able to make every place suitable for every Ghanaian. So what I say because say me who why was say Ghana ni obi ti kroma all the life on call ebi kra kofodu akrada nso ti akra obu all the life on call baby ti say to mu krada is because ebia who anything there to attract him to go. Into no a idea was as a minor, you fight so hard. Now you making sure say Ubia have an equal access to idea ebema we feel okay and we feel free. Society now attract you much you also move outside the city because me and who say the city is even choked, more choked to the extent say and then most of city ni mu no nyama bebre ho ayedin nyama bebre bo ayedin so because obi eba day in day out we are having people all the way from the north, all the way from so many places trying to center omubibia in the city.
Kumasi Accra.
What I say? Because open timber and self-contained crowd chrome ha, you are paying not less than 2,000 cedis. And it's because of city now choked. One deal will be better. Until we are not even complying to the rent control rules. So you see in this case, it's a good call, say minister no, Ediaba. But I just hope say a better applicable to all because minim say there human face is beboa it me who be mobile.
No, but me my worries is say time na area mo to payroll no so aye twa mo kada mo nyanko just can ye beje back.
No, on the own to me but you see it also tells us you see
no say bia me de wato so but one ko ba bosumi miensa events January February die aso ama ye twa njade ntina wo gi e bra one ko
oh a problem but me dey me mesre the young doctors say it is some of these places and ebe more gather the experience you want because there are so many cases there okoho na okohu a e nipa ho adwuma na okoye nti wo se onya nipa ho abotre na onya nipa ho do because if we force certain individuals to go without their own wish or evolution a bit create a lot of disaffection for the nation. Yes, because obu ha ebufuo but ebu okra okọ hospital said the doctor kra na obekasa na nurse kra na obekasa which mean yaresa quickly na ebu okra said the doctor na obekasa no it be worsen oyare
situation
into no media mesre it's a good call but the minister should engage them further to find out why all these things are happening in order say you bet me abo timemufo no ho ban na ya bo Ghana fo no so ho ban na ya mo bi
I think say was we no so boy medical dental and medical and dental association no they should also help because I don't know I don't know the reason why in here we see yemfa want to be atamale wa fill form e de what to house unko na so unko give us the reason ebi am go school ntimi mpese ebi am but you see most of them I know three of them all of them have secured private hospitals won kran ha o
mo locum no high wa ha
mpese it's a locum no kran high ha even though say my imagine mpese me kotamale no manya wa ha no say difference na wo mu no kran 1,000 cedis that my
but I also think say media is just a suggestion. I'm also think that going forward what we should do as a nation is say we should have a balance of fan for to go to our medical schools. There should be a proper balance. We should encourage people, regional balance. We should encourage people.
I don't know the so move say and admission. Na say obi any who free tamale ba.
No, and America say it's because there has not been that encouragement. That's it.
Yeah, that we encourage the region to do more.
What I said, we should start from the secondary schools. We start engaging them. Now the best out of them, no, we should be able to talk to them and let them understand that they need to come back and help their communities. Because obu ha ofi tamale, but city life na be any day. He doesn't want to go back. All those things are things we should be looking at. Send the bear ye posting na enkoye den. Me minimum obi oye nurse ni a ofi Wenchi. All year the post went back to Wenchi. Because of Elise ohona ne ho beto no. E ni krom ohona oni mu nkrofo. Obi nso ha ofi Accra. Nso opese ono ni post ye dey ko say baby no nya different experience. So this is something we should look at. And I think the Ghana Medical Association, the Minister of Health should come together and engage these people to understand. And I see we are doctors here, but if it is who be here see a better psychologist it's also good. We find out what exactly is creating that and more person because anyone who is because psychologically if you are not sound in mind it also affects the work and the better productivity it will also have facilities. Until we should see how we can equip some of these facilities to suit Omojuma no Mokoye no.
Okay.
Problem it has been with us for quite a long time. Now, those of us from the rural communities, we appreciate the importance and the significance with Dr. Nia Mudnaba Ekrasi. And as a teacher, Mudnaba Ekrasi already. That you agree with me because for a whole facility, and nurse back and nurse we know or serve about 20 communities in the catchment area. So the pressure on that person alone. And those of us from those areas and say, posty Dr. Ni and I say teaching ni class now.
Your son of
sorrow.
Now we are the god of the area.
Yes. Because
yes.
Yes. And some way because look, they go fast. Cocoa brand drop cocoa, farmer. I ain't be doing car. Or no serving you by your post to work or was a wonk, I think, sir, and yet, the papa. And minister, no measures now we're taking. This is a right call, and it finds expression in the literature because we share that research via BMC Medical Education, Sergeant and publishing. The research was conducted by Anthony Amaba, Francis Abantanga, and others. It traces the historical trajectory of this issue. Of course, the focus was on Ghana, but almost expanded as a result as part of their theoretical framework. They expanded the scope to look at other areas and the measures that certain government take to ensure say these people accept postings to rural communities. Now, say me read kakra. Osha, I say, look, quotes. I say some middle and low income countries have implemented several strategies to motivate health workers to accept rural postings. Thailand and Sierra Leone, for instance, have adopted coercion and financial measures to make doctors accept postings to what? Underserved communities. And coercion am kaya no. Measures not that talk when say so man kwai be you mudien fi payroll so. One of those punitive measures to
that
get
you,
them
no payroll no so no.
Yes.
No and yes to say omo admission wa kra o start courses.
Yes.
Wanya private hospital in the payroll no uniform government you know that private.
That's another challenge. Research me come answer me crowd. Almost say obi oho doctor ni bi oho like otu ne pay mu times 2. Crowd ni adwuma bi aya crowd onko. Yes. And you know as part of one conclusion they propose a solution. Once more respondents na doctors and nurses. And on be some say so what do we do to deal with this situation once and for all? Until we read Abantanga and Koa, almost one of the measures about it is the two aquarium, education in the medical what schools, conscientize the people. See, medical school one curriculum nankasa, and say on make it deliberate and conscious efforts. Say, yet your mother and decide dream bed then, a best show with him more. A be conscious, a be programming again from the medical school. Now, almost started outreach in Yemen and there's almost school in rural communities to do their internship and as a housemanship now. So if you're able to conscientize the people from baby omunya training now, almost it to go a long way to solve this problem.
And
for me, I agree.
Medical school in fan corner
Yes.
Well, person we medicine be a corner
of yes.
Honor school no.
School no.
Oh, why we share with Bimaso.
And they will appreciate the issues that work local communities, you know, because a lot of our competitors are what suffering in rural communities, and we are paid to doctors and the nurses for say a pomocho. What do you post to monko? What can say 2014? He proposed measures because say yeah, more 20 to 30% of their basic pay. It become one more, but in the 90% solve a problem. And you know, for me, I agree with Abantage and Co. Say the only way we can get them is education, conscientize the mind, because many will say, "Ebia say," and the radio station here, it is a way of education. Omu be branch as an American, a rural community. One shall double pay, one shall won't come. And it's not you attitude that. Yeah, a way I dream. So yes, because
I'm crying. Yeah, and people even say, Obana was assigned with you, as a demotion.
As a demotion. So that kind of mentality, let's see it to me then, free. Because if you're able to deal with this, I think substantially the issue will be with that one. And you know, you're best wrong. You go to Jogu form. Say minister kind measures, no more money in Drew. No more the man safety postings to those communities. No more yama money in your mom, more those communities.
That's it.